even before we begin on the
Yes,
subject of,
yes.
we'll be talking about partnership. Of course, everything we're talking about, just it's around money, around business, finance. Yes, and there's one thing that I heard from someone. They said something interesting. They said, which one would you prefer, a person of skill or a person with a good character? If you were hiring people, would you prefer from the two a person who is skillful? If you give them something to do a task here, they'll do it perfectly and with excellence, and of course your company will grow, and people buy into your ideas and all that. And again, one this other person is, you meet them for the first time and they tell you this one is very skillful and the other one is has a good character, but the one who is skillful doesn't have a good character. Mr. Eddie, to you, if you were to hire such kind of, which one would you go for? Who would you want to work with? The one with skill or the one with character?
That's a good question. Thank you very much. Yeah, before I go into it, I just want to say thank you. And also, what is it? What is there not to talk about if not money and trust? Of course, these are the major things that are keeping us alive. We are
True.
here because of God, and also we are here because we need money in this world. Minus those two, I don't think we would have any reason for us
Yes.
to be alive and to be chasing dreams and running up and down wherever we find ourselves running up and down.
True.
Hiring, or yeah, from the question which you have raised, which talks of hiring or wanting someone to work for you, one who's got a skill, the other one has got a good character.
Character. Yes.
Those are the two ones that you have on the table, and you need to pick from one.
Yes.
Basically, character. Character, both are good in one or another,
Mm-hmm.
and both are bad in one or another.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go with a person of character. A person of character, if you bring them on board, you need to
Mm-hmm.
hire them for your work.
Yes.
They have good character, but they lack experience.
Yes.
Remember, experience is something that can be taught to someone.
Wow. Mm.
So that person who comes with just a character,
Mm-hmm.
you can spend time to teach them. One thing you have to put
Wow.
into consideration if you're bringing someone on board to work with you is that there are some costs that you have to incur for bringing that person on
Mm.
board. When you're hiring someone, you have to ask yourself, is this person you are bringing on board, do we need them for a long or short term or a medium term basis? Which one do we need them for? If you need them for a long term basis, quite all right. If you bring them on board, they are that you can train them in the skill. In the long run, they'll do it. They'll be productive, and your company will flourish. But if you are trying to bring someone on board because there's an emergence of a shortage in the field or in a certain area or aspect of your company, and you want to make sure that that person comes as quickly as possible and occupies the position as quickly as possible, and make sure that the work is done, then the person who has got a skill already is the ideal person to bring on board. Because what you want from that person is not their character, but instead you want the skill they possess. They can be of bad character, but because of the skill they possess, they will have to work because they already have the skill. So they will work according to their skill. Their character can be bad, but they work according to their skill because you need that person to train that person. You don't
Mm.
have all the time in the world to start training that person. You don't have all the time in the world to start training that person to have the skill. For the character, as they are working, they'll be working on it bit by bit. But since they already have the skill, you will not waste a lot of money into training them, to making them become people of skill.
Interesting. I've learned a lot. You mentioned something very important. You said a person with good character, you can teach them a skill.
Yes,
As we know that everyone has
yes,
an ability to learn, we can all learn something new. So if you can bring someone with a good
yes.
character, it will be an advantage, because a good character, which means they'll have a good customer relation, and that will be an advantage to you. And they'll be honest with the work
Sure,
that they
sure.
do with you, because they've got character. They don't want to compromise and do all kinds of things. Wow, interesting. This is very interesting. Now, Coming to the subject of partnership, I know we might not go into detailed types of partnership, general, limited, and all that, but we shall, as we are explaining, I'm sure we'll be touching different types, but we won't be mentioning this is the type we're dealing with and this is the type we're dealing with. So, even before I ask if you have been in a partnership before or not, what I would want to find out is how do you identify a right partner in business? Someone you can work with in business.
Understand someone who has a similar goal. I can say you need to have similar goals with the person you're bringing on board, you are
Yes.
partnering in with. Have similar goals. If your goals for the person you're partnering in and your goals, his and your goals are not the same, it will be difficult uh, to work to work very well with that person. It will be very difficult to work amicably with that person because you'll be all the time will be conflicting because you have got different views of whatever business you're about to do.
Mm.
Yes.
Wow.
Also, you have to know whether this person is interested in the short term, medium term, or long term partnering. You know, sometimes you might bring somebody on board, yet their interest is just the profit that you're making from the business. They're not even interested in the business. They are meant to make a little profit, they want out. So when you bring such a person, it will be difficult for you to grow your estate, to grow a business. So you need to know, are they interested in the short term partnering, the medium term, or the long term partnering? That also be in comparison with you have also to you also need yourself to know your goal as well, because if you are a short term person, you bring someone who is a long term person, you have conflict along the way. So if yours is a long term project, long term plan,
Yes.
also there has to be a long term plan so that you think you are together, you're on the same page.
Mm. Wow.
And
Yes.
also you need also to consider their current financial status. Very important thing.
Mm. Wow. I love that. Explain more on
Do
that.
they have the funds?
Mm. Okay. Hmm.
Do they have the funds or they don't have the funds? You can want to start a business using your own pocket money, both of you, putting in a certain amount each. So understand their current financial status. Some people, as I said earlier, that they would just want the profit. So some people find that they're desperate in need of money.
Hmm.
So they just want something that can work within a short period of time. They're out, they get the profit, they disappear.
Mm.
So once you understand their financial status, their current financial status, it will give you a projection on how you can work with this person, whether you can work with them or not. If you find out that the person you're about to enter into business with, they have got other sources of income where they can get money from, they are not solely relying on that business, then that person can be of good opportunity to work with, because you know that the business you're about to start with them stands a chance of going very far, because they will not be crying for money as time and then from the profits you're making. You need,
Mm.
thank you. You need to discuss, have a discussion on the roles that each and every person is going to play in your business. You know,
Okay.
many a times we enter into business partnership with people just saying because they have the money, I have the money, we can do this. They have agreed. Let's put them and let's start the business without fully defining the role of each and every individual that is going to play. So you need to know: are you going to be the CEO? Are you going to be the salesperson? Are you going to be doing the finances? Are you going to be doing the advertisements? Are you going to be a chief analyst? Know the roles that you're putting that person to. Are you the one going to be in charge of hiring? Are you going to be in charge of firing people?
Mm.
Are you going to be in charge of production? Are you going to be in charge of sales? You
Sorry to
have to
cut
know
you
all
short.
those people. Are you going to be in charge of?
Said,
Yes,
sorry to
yes.
cut you short. I love the point that you mentioned that who is going to be doing what, and what determines who is going to be like the CEO, who is going to be in control. People. The problem that we have is everyone wants to be the one in charge. So what really determines what do we look for? For example, you're in a partnership with a person. Now, how do you deal with the
Yes.
issue of who is going to be the CEO, who is going to be the manager, who is going to be the boss here? How do you deal with such issues?
There now, that's why I say you discuss,
Hmm.
and also you have to understand the individual capacities of a person.
Okay.
understand their capacity of doing work, and also know they have to know your capacity of doing work. From there, if you find that you are fighting or have got conflict between the two of you of getting a higher position, it is advisable to hire a person to occupy that position that you're fighting. And also, you have to know their behavior around substantial amount of money. You know, some people will come paying a few $1,000s, a few thousand kwacha, a few thousand whatever currency is being used. But when they have a lot of money around them, some people go mad.
Yeah, that's true.
When they say a lot of money, they go very mad that in the process you'll be even surprised that what has happened? The company has fallen down because
Mhm.
they have received too much contracts from different people and the money is too much for them to handle. So that drives people crazy. So know how they react when they've got substantial amount of money. We can just ask them questions on how what they can do with a certain figure of money. Just give them a random figure of amount of money and hear their plans, hear their projection, hear what they're going to say on how they can handle that amount of money. And from there, we'll be able to pick one or two things saying that, okay, this person cannot manage to work with me because if we are to receive this amount of money, it will lead us to this, it will lead us to this. Some people will be like, I certainly know, I'll just buy a car. I'll go out in the country and start enjoying myself, all those things. So you question yourself, but if you start going out, there are some people who say that I want to be in business partnership with you. When you make profit, or I can say that people who be like, they're in partnership with you. You make profit, the moment they get paid, they disappear for 2 weeks. Yeah, they are nowhere to be seen. The
Yeah.
next time they're going to come, they'll be like, I end up going business. How is the business? You tell them because now the man has finished. The moment you profit again, they will disappear. Another 3 weeks, 4 weeks, nowhere to be seen. You have got to take a contract, you are given a lot of money, they get their share, they are nowhere to be seen. So such kind of people are not good people to work with. So you have to know how the people react with, when they're given
This.
substantial amounts of money. To know that you to be able to tell you whether they are good people that you can partner with.
Interesting stuff there. And I don't know if you have touched on this one. How important is paperwork? Do you like, for example, you mentioned of having a partner who is a friend. Some people would want to, you're my friend, we trust each other. Let's begin this. So, because clarity is needed, as you mentioned in your explanation. So, how do we?
Yes,
How important is paperwork, and how should we go about it? Like where we should sign, where we should do this and this. Yeah.
thank you very much. So as a business is about to start, so you need to have a plan for a business. A business has to be documented very well. What is it you want to do in that business of yours? What is it that you want to achieve? How long is it? Is it going to take for business to be well established? What are the things that you're going to do that will make your business be known to other people and all those things? So it is your partner that you are partnering with. You need, after you have discussed the roles of each and every individual, now you need to put that in writing.
Okay.
You know what your business is supposed to do, and you know the roles for each person. Put it into writing, saying that okay, this is now the way it's going to be. You give your name, I'll be in charge of A, B, C, D as your role. The other person, their role also, and then now you state on each and every person's contribution to achieving that you want to achieve in that business of yours, according to the document, not according to you as the fellow partner or according to the document. So when you're in partnership, when then you create that document, whatever you do, the document is watching you, not your partner. Should you do something contrary to what the document says, the document is going to persecute you. It's not your partner who persecute, but the document will persecute you. And when it finds you wanting, you shall pay for it.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. You mentioned that you've been in a partnership before. What kind of challenges did you experience, or you don't experience any challenges in partnership?
Yes. And also issues to do. Major issue which also usually comes in is the issue of mismanagement of funds.
Okay.
funds are mismanaged a lot, got mismanaged a lot on one or two things. Funds get mismanaged. Sometimes you find the products, they say no, the product went on credit.
Yeah.
Then now the issue of follow up, they know follow up on credit to follow up before you know it. There's nothing that is coming out from the following up, and you don't know whether they did the follow up, whether it was really gotten on credit or not. So all those are some of the challenges that you face.
So now, in terms
Also,
of like
issues
we're
to
talking about issues of
yes.
finances, so it means is it safe, or maybe it could have been at an early stage in business having like an accountant. What do you think? Is it
Um,
important, or maybe because at an early stage you can't do that? It maybe it's costly.
yeah.
Yeah.
With a proper definition of your agreement, that can be covered without an accountant.
Okay.
So, in terms of fund distribution or getting from the company coffers, the document also has to touch on that. The document that is going to be made has to make sure that it has all those clauses.
Okay.
When this is needed, monies can be gotten from the account, but maybe it will require both parties to be just informed that okay, this is needed, so we need to get so much amount of money, unless maybe it's an emergency which does not require to wait for someone to respond, but can be done. But the moment immediately it's done, either an email or a message has to be written to the other partner to say that okay, this had come up, so we worked like this, so that when they are around now, they get the time to read the email, to read the message of also this happened, and then they can follow up and then we discuss on how everything went about. But with time, as you are growing bigger, accountants now have to come in, all those things like accountants have to come in, auditors have to come in, CFOs have to come, which are the chief financial officers, all those guys have to come in so that now they can be managing finances properly. Because in many cases, businesses fail because of issues to do with finance.
Uh, we've uh, we've talked much on the things to look, things not to overlook, and disadvantages and some challenges that are in partnership. And I want us to talk about, in a few minutes, talk about the benefits of partnership. We've seen people from different parts of the world. Some people could work as families. You see it from Indians and other races where people can work as a family. You know, they can be partners as a family and with friends, and they become very big. For example, they could build big, for example, a mall. Example, big companies. You know,
Yeah.
people work together as a team. And so, what are some of the advantages of partnership?
The, the advantages, one of them, of just giving it yourself. One of the advantages is you can become big.
Yes.
You can become big when you're partnering with someone.
Yeah.
Alone, um, you have the capacity to work alone, but you do not have all how to skill. You can have a bit of some skill here and there,
Mhm.
but you will not be able to cover everything all by yourself. And there are some funds that will be needed. They can be very large at times that alone it will be a bit cumbersome to be able to raise
To
those
raise
funds.
those, yeah.
So when you have got into a partnership with someone,
Mhm.
one of the benefits is that you'll be able you raise capital so easily or so quickly. Capital be raised quickly because you are combining the forces, your force and the partner's force. Together, you brainstorm, you come up with ideas, and you work out those ideas and you move. Sometimes it will require maybe you to go to a bank to get some loan and here and there to start up. So, as all those things are being made, the plans on how you're going to achieve all those goals you want in life, your partner can also be there to help you, or you'll be helping each other
Yeah.
because there are some things that you can forget, but your partner will be able to remember. And also, another thing that we can talk of why it's important to partner and everything, it also makes us to grow as individuals.
Yeah.
You know, what we know is as much as we can,
Yeah.
but our friends, the one that would want to partner with, they can know things that we never even thought would know. So by partnering with someone, you are just opening your faculties to new knowledge. You are opening your mind to acquiring new knowledge that you never thought you'd acquire in your life. Because your partner will come with a different version of doing things, or they'll come with different type of knowledge that yourself you don't have. You may be an expert in one field, they'll be experts in another field. So when they bring that knowledge, it definitely you're going to combine your knowledge and their knowledge. They are learning from you, you're also learning from them. In the process, you will grow. And as you grow, it also helps you as an individual on a personal level. Not only is it helping the company, but it's also helping you as an individual on a personal level. Because now you will be more like an expert in both two fields, the one you are in already as an expert and the one that you are being taught by your friends. So by so doing, it will also be help you to teach those others people who are out there who want to learn from the same knowledge that your friend has. You'll be more like a fountain of knowledge to others because you are getting and now you're distributing to others and help the society to grow with the knowledge that you are sharing with your partner.
Interesting. Wow.
Alone, you can start just a business very quickly.
Yes.
It goes, pop, pop, everything is done. But when you're with your a partner, it will be easier. You go very far because your visions for both might vary high or will be what will be long term goals, and you will not want to fail. Trust me, if there's anything
Mm,
that is good or that you should do better in life, is when you partner with the right person. You will not want to fail.
mm,
In the process of not wanting to fail, you keep growing, you keep growing, you keep growing. You don't want to fail. When you grow a little bit, you not want to be one. You don't have to be you don't want to be stagnant. In
mm.
not wanting to be stagnant, your partner doesn't want to be stagnant.
Yes, you're
So they
right.
will acquire more knowledge. They grow. You also acquire more knowledge. You grow. In the process, you be growing bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. Before you know it, you are something very big because you are sharing knowledge as you are acquiring knowledge at the same time.
Yes.
So together you go very far. Alone you can sometimes you can feel discouraged if even your goals are not properly defined. Sometimes
Yes, true.
you have unproperly defined goals, but when you bring in a partner is going to help you to redefine those goals of yours and make you see those goals that you have at another level, at a different angle. By so doing, you'll be able to build a resilient mind that will even want to move mountains because now your eyes have been opened and you are seeing things in a different way than you used to see them before.
Wow. Wow, that's very powerful. It's
Yeah.
true. Indeed, partnership is it has its own advantages. And your last words. What would you tell people? There are people today who are saying, "I just want to be doing things by myself. I don't want to partner because of what I've heard about partnership. They've never tried, but just saying because of what I've heard about partnership, I don't think I would want to go into a partnership." And they want to do things on their own. They feel they are skillful and they'll be able to achieve on their own. So, what is your encouragement to those people? What words would you tell them?
Okay. Our ears hear many things, our eyes see many things, our hands touch a lot of things, our feet can lead us to different places.
Very
But
true.
just because I was led somewhere doesn't mean that where I was led was a right place. Just because I heard someone talk doesn't mean that what they have said is true. Have I tried, have I tested the theories that they have said? Let's not be afraid from afar, saying that no, I cannot manage to do this, I can do this on my own. Don't be an island.
Mm,
Be someone who can associate, who can work with someone. Try to understand yourself. After understanding yourself, try to put yourself in companies of great minds, people that you can work with.
mm,
Partnering is one thing that has brought a lot of people up, and also partnering has made a lot of people rise. Just know that you need to partner with the right person. Know your value, know their value, know your goals, know their goals. If both of you, your goals and your values are syncing, then partner with that person. You can partner with 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, 6 people, as long as your goals are syncing.
Yes.
and you have got properly defined goals, there's no problem. Because alone, you can want something very big. Alone, it will be difficult for you to raise the capital.
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine you want to start business worth 1 million. 1 million, it will take you years before you can raise that
Yes,
1 million. But if you bring up a group of 10, 15, 20 people,
it's possible.
it will be easier to raise that 1 million. Before you know it, you have that 1 million and you have your business running. You will be the mastermind, yes, to the business. These other ones will be there with their plans, with their inputs, but you be the mastermind of it. You are the one who knows how it does from A to Z. You just start teaching them. But after that, you'd have achieved the goal of running a business as big as that one which you are running now. So if you say you cannot work with people, just want to work alone, it will be difficult for you to achieve the goal. You will achieve it in many years. But if you work with other people, you will start achieving it now. After many, many years, you would have been something, you would have been someone very greater than you even expected yourself to be like. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much. Interesting. It's true because if we really want to grow, a partnership is a good platform to grow because, as you said, you get to challenge yourself, to work hard, to put in your best, to make sure
Yes.
that everything goes well. So I'm telling those who will be listening later on that we should not be afraid. Let's. The key is finding the right people, people of like-minded, people with the
That's
same
the only key.
ideas. That's the only goal. That's the only key. When we find the right people, we go in, we work together. We see how other
Then we're
people
done.
work together. We see Jews, people doing big things. Even the ideas of the Moshavs, Jews coming together. This is the same idea of partnership we're
Yeah.
talking about. Look at what they do. Big
Yeah,
things.
very true.
So we are to emulate and learn from such examples.